Jude.
Thanks very much. I lead straight on from the last intervention from my colleague behind. Clearly, the last few years, trust in our food supply chain has been really hit very badly by the horse meat scandal. And despite coming from a country where we didn't think that we ate a lot of horse meat, we found out that actually we did, but we just didn't know. And therefore there are some real concerns. But I come at this from a slightly different angle, which is, I think, related to more to the second petition where the people aren't here, linked to our free trade agreements and the situation in relation to Canada with the Comprehensive Economic Trade Agreement, which will come before this Parliament probably next year for decision. And therefore, I think that it's worth us reflecting a little bit more on how we take forward this petition. And I was intrigued by, if I can paraphrase the Commission, it started off with there's never been systematic evidence of a problem in Canada. The Canadians have put improvements, but we're still not satisfactory. There's still not a satisfactory situation. Having read the report from the Food and Veterinary Office audit from last May, it's pretty clear that they did find quite significant concerns in relation to horse meat. So I think it's quite intriguing how it's being presented. And I welcome the fact that the situation's improving. I welcome the fact that there's an update in terms of the import certificate for horse meat. But in the context that we're talking not just to the Canadians, but also to the Americans about regulatory cooperation and convergence in relation to SPS standards and how they relate to our trade relations. What I'd like to suggest is that we actually forward these petitions to the Trade Committee and to the Envy Committee, because these petitions should feed into the work which is done in those committees around, on the Envy side, in relation to the follow-up to the horse meat scandal and everything that's going on in terms of traceability. And I think in terms of the Trade Committee, there's a very clear link with the discussions that we have going on around SPS standards in trade agreements. And I think it would be useful to have a little bit of a more detailed discussion, and we have a monitoring group in the Trade Committee focused on Canada. It might be quite interesting to ask the chair of the Trade Committee that this question be raised specifically in that group to see what the connection is in terms of the way that the concerns of the Commission and the FVO fit with the CETA agreement and what will come after the CETA agreement. So that would be perhaps my questions. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. And sometimes it's really nice to be chairing this committee when you see that you have colleagues in every other, let's say, legislative committee that can actually build the bridge from this committee to the others, which is very, very useful. And I really wish us to enhance that sort of cooperation and make that even stronger in days to come.